Today we're going to be talking about why the Chargers should trade down in the draft. But before we do that, make sure you guys hit the like button. Also subscribe. 95% of you watching right now are not subscribed. I post every single day on the Chargers. You're not going to want to miss out. Turn on the notification bell, man, because we're about to get it cracking. The draft is next month, and up until that, I'm going to be giving you guys a bunch of different ideas, and you can pick the best one. So in this one, we're going to be looking at a different perspective, because you guys know if I was running the Chargers, well, we'd be screwed because I don't know what I'm doing. But if I was running the Chargers, I would take Olave or Jameson Williams. I don't really care which one you guys can pick. I'll take either one. But I'm not running the Chargers, and they're not going to take either one of those players, which is completely fine because I'm actually okay with this scenario. And let's dive a little bit into this. So the Chargers are going to be trading their 17th pick and pick 160 for pick 22 and pick 53. And they're going to be selecting Jermaine Johnson II out of FSU. He is an edge rusher, which you can't really complain about because the Chargers, their weakness is a pass rusher outside of Joey Bosa. Oh, wait, never mind. They brought in Kula Mack. That's stupid. I'm kidding, obviously, but they also went out and brought in Sebastian Joseph Day. They brought in a guy like Johnson, of course, who is really good against the run. But why not just add depth so that you can run multiple packages out there? Because the Chargers, they weren't able to play the way that they wanted last season because they couldn't stop the run, which is a major issue. So let's talk about Jermaine Johnson, right? So I'm just going to read this. This is coming from boltsfromtheblue.com to give credit where it's due. So when the Chargers were on the clock at 17, the Pro Football Focus mock simulator gave me a bunch of potential trade offers. Some of them weren't very realistic, like the Kansas City Chiefs, but there were a few that were realistic. And let me just stop right there. Even if the Chiefs was realistic, we're not giving the Chiefs the 17th pick because then they're going to take Olave or James Williams, and we are screwed. I tell you right now, if the Chiefs get their hands on either of those players, you can go back to this video and pull it up. We are not winning the division because if you give Patrick Mahomes the most NFL-ready prospect at wide receiver, or if you give him the guy that literally could be better than Tyreek Hill, I mean, I'm looking at Jameson Williams. I mean, he's got Tyreek Hill burners. I mean, that is, you just can't do that. So you're not trading with your division rival, the team we're trying to overcome. I mean, you can't be the best until you beat the best. And Justin Herbert needs to beat Patrick Mahomes, which, of course, we know he can. I mean, oh my God, I still can't believe that game. Oh my God, that overtime loss will haunt me forever. But we'll get them. Don't worry, we'll get them next season. But I'm just saying, let's not give the Chiefs any more help, please. Like, I'm good on that. I mean, the Green Bay Packers, they have 2 first-round picks in 2 seconds after trading Devontae Adams to the Las Vegas Raiders. So they have the picks to make a move, of course, if they want to end up picking at 17. Jameson Williams should definitely be there, and they could replace Adams with him, who could possibly end up being the best wide receiver in this class. So the author of, or I guess, yeah, so the writer of this, he packaged pick 17 and pick 160 to trade back to pick 22 and pick 53, picking back up a second round pick. So we're getting essentially we're moving back, we're moving back 5 picks and we're getting a second round pick from it, which is a pretty big deal. It's a deep class. And did we go with Brees Hall with that? Oh my God, dude, I'm getting excited. I mean, Austin Eckler is such a tremendous back, second in receptions, scored a boatload of touchdowns, but he is going to be 27 this year, and I expect him to get a larger workload because, not that he can't handle it, because he's a pretty decently sized running back, like he's fine, about 5'9", 5'10"-ish. If Brees Hall is there, I mean, I don't know how you don't take him. I mean, I'm looking at a potential DeMarco Murray type of running back. I think he'll be better than DeMarco Murray was a great running back. I think he has more upside than that. But I mean, could you imagine Justin Herbert as a superstar running back for the next 10 years? But again, that they don't need a running back in the second round. I'm just giving you guys the player that I like the most in that range. But there's no way they're going to take a running back there. But so in round 2, actually, let's talk a little bit more about the players. So of course, Chris Olave and Trevor Penning were both available at 22, which is insane. I don't know how you don't take Chris Olave at 22, but they don't. He ends up going with Johnson. I mean, the whispers are hearing is that the Chargers they're feeling good about their wide receiver and offensive line groups, and with the DTs they added in free agency, I don't see them going there either with who was on the board for me. Wait a second, they feel comfortable with their offensive line? What? I mean, dude, they lost Balega, they released him. So free agency, is that the move? They're definitely gonna have to go with someone else because the right tackle they were starting at the end of the year, I don't even remember his name because I still have a lot to do with the Chargers, but I can tell you right now he was giving up a ton of pressures in that Raiders game to end the year. So yeah, I don't understand how you can feel comfortable with him. And like, why would you take an edge rusher over Chris Olave. I don't know, man. I came into this article trying not to give too much of an opinion, but it's basically become strictly that. So I just let me know, Charger fans. I don't know how you could take an edge rusher over Chris Olave right here. And I understand that you're comfortable with Guyton because at the end of the season he was catching a lot more footballs instead of dropping them. Obviously, Josh Palmer looks like a star. But Keenan Allen just is not a part of our future, man. Like, he only dropped 6 passes. It's not like he dropped like 12 passes or anything like that. But we've got to have players that not only can help us win now, but can help us win for the future. And Keenan Allen isn't that, man. Like, he's getting up there. So in the second round, the Chargers are making another trade, going back, sending picks 53 to 14 in a 2023 fourth for 56 and 88. And they're selecting Darian Kinnard out of Kentucky. I don't know if it's Kennard or Kinnard. I believe it's Kinnard. This would help the Chargers make a legit run this season if they're able to fill a few more holes. So trading down 3 spots for how many players I liked were still on the board and being able to pick up another third round pick seemed like the right move. I just don't know if these trades are going to be realistic or not because it sounds good in like hindsight, but once we're actually in the draft, I don't know if this is going to happen. And okay, this it got a lot better. Once you guys see who we're taking next round, but let's stay on topic here. So I mean, of course, he could ultimately play tackle at the NFL level. Plus, he did start at right tackle for Kentucky. So, unlike a lot of offense tackles that get drafted in the first 2 rounds, he wouldn't be having to make the transition from the left side to the right side, which is much harder than people give it credit for. But even if he can't, he would likely start at right guard for the Chargers. He's an absolute mauler in the run game, and despite his numbers at the combine, moves well enough on tape to block at the second level. He gives the Chargers position versatility, more young talent on the line, and a big boost in the run game. So like you can't complain about this because the Chargers like absolutely need to draft an offensive lineman, whether that be in the first round or the third round. I don't really care. So yeah, I'm totally fine with this. And of course, this is coming at pick 56. So yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like it. I don't love it, but personally, if he's as versatile as the author is saying, then yeah, sure, I'll take it. The thing that really caught my eye is Calvin Austin the third out of Memphis. This is going to be at pick 79 in the third round. Me personally, like I'm not buying too much into the Calvin Austin hype. I mean, remember, it doesn't say this in this article because why would it? Because he's 5'7", guys. I think he's going to play special teams. He did run a 4.32 in the 40-yard dash, but Chris Olave didn't he run a 4.38? I mean, I know there's a big difference between a 4.32 and a 4.38 essentially, but he did have a 6.653 cone. Like, why would you rely on Calvin Austin? I mean, at minimum, he plays special teams for you and could be like an all-pro there, but I just don't know why everyone is so like set on just first round, go lineman, go someone off the edge, go defense tackle, and then in the third round we can take Calvin Austin. I don't even know if Calvin Austin will be there at that pick. If he is, cool. But also, I mean, there's a big difference between Chris Olave and Calvin Austin. Like way more of a difference than there's going to be if you take, let's say, I don't know, an offensive lineman. Like if you go from an offensive lineman in the first round and then you take an offensive lineman in the third round, like Trevor Penning, he might not even be that good. Like there's huge question marks for him as a pass blocker at the next level. So, and then in the third round at pick 88, remember there was a trade. Marcus Jones, corner out of Houston. He's five. Okay, so he's 5'8". Oh my God, this is an awful mock draft. I'm sorry. Wow. I feel bad if the author of this sees this, it's like you definitely know football, but I just don't agree with it. I don't know if it's bad. I mean a 5'8" corner and a 5'7" receiver. I'm 6'1", bro. So like, I don't, I don't know about this, man. He played a little bit of wide receiver in college, of course. Talking about Jones. I mean, like Asante Samuel and J.C. Jackson are also shorter corners, but I mean he's like known for being an amazing returner. He had 9 return touchdowns in college, and again, he played a little bit of wide receiver, as I mentioned. And then round 4, another offensive lineman, Zach Tom. Yeah, I mean, he definitely has the size and athleticism. He's kind of like Rashawn Slater and Creed Humphrey, which I think is a little bit too high of praise. I mean, those are some of the best young players that we have in football. But he played the last 2 years at left tackle for Wake Forest and was their starting center before that. And then again in the 6th round, dude, how about us taking a tight end to Maryland? I know we've got Gerald Everett and, of course, like Donald Parham and Trey McKitty. But we definitely could draft one in the 6th round. And I have no idea how to say this guy's name. I'm going to try to so you guys can laugh at me. Go for it. Chigozium Okonkwo. I don't even know if I said that right, but I mean, he ran a 4.52, which is actually pretty good for a guy his size. I mean, he's 6'2" and a half, 238. So running a 4.52 is fine. I mean, you look at a guy like David Montgomery, he ran a 4.6, and like he's pretty relatively athletic, so and he's not 6'2". And then seventh round, we do go out and get a backup running back, Max Borghi out of Washington State. He didn't participate in the combine, so his pro day is going to be on the 28th of March, which is Monday. He's 5'9", 210. Not the biggest running back, but 210 is good. And of course, 20 reps of 225. It shows that he definitely has the strength to be similar to, like, I don't know, a poor man Austin Eckler. Great vision and balance, catches the ball effortlessly out of the backfield, and he knows how to get north and south quickly. So he definitely does look like a good running back in the 7th round. I don't think he'll be anything crazy, but at that range, you just want someone to be serviceable. And I believe that Borghi will do that. And then in the 7th round, you've got Isaiah Weston out of Northern Iowa. I mean, he averaged 24 yards per catch and had 15 touchdowns and 88 catches. The biggest reason is just his athleticism. He's 6'3" and a half, 214, ran a 4.42. I honestly, that 11 3-inch broad jump is insane. He's got a 40-inch vert. I mean, yeah, absolutely, Isaiah Weston would be insane here. I mean, see, like that, I can get that debate of being like, okay, we don't need a receiver in the 1st round if we can get Isaiah Weston in the 7th. Like, that's a completely understandable debate. So, like, I have no problems with that. And then, of course, actually, we have 2 more picks. That's right. Okay, so in the 7th round, 255, it would be Colin Barnes. Just quickly to go through this, he's a corner, obviously, 5'11 and a half, 183. He definitely needs to bulk up, but he ran a 4.23, which is basically Tyreek Hill type of territory. I mean, this is completely hit or miss, most likely a miss, but if you're going to take someone in the 7th round, why not take a guy that runs insanely quick and is just about 6 foot? And then pick 260, our last pick, would be Kalia Davis out of UCF. Yeah, I mean, of course, he tore his ACL and it ended his season. I mean, he opted out due to COVID in 2020 for obvious reasons. He's 302 pounds, 6'1". I mean, he's a big boy up front. He definitely is extremely disruptive. When he's on, he can just rack up tackles for losses, and he would help the Chargers' run defense. He also did have 4 sacks in 16 games, which is pretty good for a defensive tackle. So, yeah, that's it, guys. Let me know your thoughts on the video. This is Thunder Alley. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm out. Peace.